What's up, guys? Brian back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7, and Morgan, Lenny James, hints that Rick and Morgan might not be on the same side if The Walking Dead characters meet again. Article by the Inquisitr, pretty good article about it. They talked to Lenny James about some things, and it's pretty interesting to think about it, so we'll see the side of that. The images used in this video are property of AMC. We do not claim ownership of the images. We are using them under the fair use copyright principle with our commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Spoilers ahead if you do not know what's going on in Season 6 and the Season 7. Spoilers ahead. Inquisitr, there's the link. We'll put it in the description as well. And it's a pretty good article. They got a couple of different things in there too, but we highlighted a bunch of things here. But basically, Morgan has been through many changes over the years. He and his son Dwayne were the first humans that Rick Grimes encountered after waking up from his coma. He helped Rick, treated his wound, and let him know what was happening in the world. The next time they would meet, Rick would see a very different Morgan. And Morgan has changed throughout the series. I'd say one of the bigger transformations, along with Carol. But, and they're together in there too. But Morgan, we've seen from the very beginning. There's Dwayne. It's a shame he didn't make it, but Morgan is one of the original people there, so he's part of the Atlanta 5, 6, whatever you want to call it. In Season 3, Episode 12, titled Clear, Rick, Michonne, and Carl found Morgan, who had apparently gone crazy. He was rambling about survivors wearing dead people's faces, whispers, maybe. Predict the clue of the whispers would eventually be introduced, possibly. Lenny James' character on The Walking Dead would not be seen again until Season 5, when he went through a transformation after being jailed and then counseled by another survivor, led Morgan to not killing, which led to some problems when he arrived at Alexandria and he met Rick again. So I was excited to see Morgan when we were seeing the tidbits about it, but then his, all life is precious stuff, got a little crazy. It's kill or be killed. He went from being a killer, and I guess he still is a killer, but he's been trained under the Aikido principles of do not kill under Eastman, but the whole thing with Rick in there as well. And we'll talk about it at the end, but who do you think would win? Rick versus Morgan now. In this, there was a pretty good fight going on here, but Rick maybe held back a little bit because it was his friend. But we'll talk about that later. But the last time Morgan was seen on The Walking Dead, he went searching for Carol, who was going through her own issues and ran away from Alexandria. He found Carol, but she was not interested in going home. When Season 7 airs the new episodes on AMC, Morgan and Carol will still be together. As seen in the official trailer, the pair will end up in the kingdom and meet Ezekiel, the actor who spoke with MoviePhone about his character in The Walking Dead. So last time Rick saw Morgan, he gave him the gun, and luckily he got the gun and saved Carol's life, because without that gun, he didn't have it. He got the horse, found Carol, killed that guy, saved Carol, and now is bringing Carol back. So imagine if that was too late or something happened there too, but basically Morgan and Carol will be in the kingdom, as in the trailer that we saw there. Morgan is pushing Carol in the wheelchair. However, that was not all that Lenny had to say about Morgan. Later in the interview, he wondered if Rick and Morgan would ever meet again. Fans just assumed that the two would. He either would bring Carol back to Alexandria or Rick's group would find them at the kingdom. After all, the community is going to help Alexandria and the Hilltop Colony defeat Negan if the story follows the comic books. However, there is a chance that Rick and Morgan might not cross paths, at least for a while. No, they will see each other again, and Rick will be going to the kingdom, because that's where Morgan's going to be, and Morgan's going to be a different person. Rick and Morgan didn't really see eye to eye. Really, the last time they saw each other, it ended cordially, but they really changed perspectives on different things. So we'll see how that is going into Season 7. The Walking Dead actor also mentioned that what the situation will be like if the two meet again. Lenny James wondered if the two men would even be on the same side. That is an interesting statement, and one that brings up new questions. Now, like I said, Rick versus Morgan, who do you got? Who would take each other out in a fight? They really had to fight if they were on different odds to each other. I'm going with Morgan because the keto training and all that too. I think he would take him out, even though he got his butt whipped by Carol a little bit too, which was kind of maybe he was holding back. But Rick and Morgan, going to be a little different. They're not going to be on different sides, I would say, but it'd be interesting when they meet each other at the kingdom. I'm also interested in what's going to happen and what it's going to take and what stake everybody will be in. If and when we ever get back together, if and when Rick and Morgan ever meet again and come across again, and what the situation will be when that happens, because I don't know, and when and where their minds will be, and will they both be on the same side? So I'm looking forward to that. Depending on who Morgan spends his time with, he might have a different opinion on those Rick considers enemies. The kingdom is supposed to be an ally of the Hilltop Colony in the comics. They unite with Alexandria to defeat Negan and the Saviors, so wouldn't they all be on the same side, or will Ezekiel and Rick Grimes have some issues? Is there more to this story? So I definitely think Morgan and Rick will see each other again in the kingdom, but it's interesting what you say there too. where they're going to be. Morgan is going to be Morgan again. Morgan will not be with Rick for some time in there too. Like he says, he's going to go to the kingdom with Carol, and they're going to be, Rick's not going to be involved with that too. So it's going to be interesting to see Morgan and Ezekiel and how they bond together, like too, because I could see them going together. Morgan did push Rick out of the way and save the Kingdom Rider that would be taken back too. The spear kind of highlights the kingdom and a bunch of other different highlights in the kingdom. And as you can see in the trailer, Morgan is already with Ezekiel, helping him out as an ally. So I don't know the difference with that too, with Ezekiel being there. And I think there might be a little problem with Ezekiel and Rick at first, but then they get squashed as they move on, you know. So what do you think Lenny James meant by his statements? Why would Rick and Morgan not be on the same side if they meet again? Will Carol ever return to Alexandria? What do you expect from Morgan on The Walking Dead? Season 7 premieres October 23rd on AMC, so fans don't have too much longer to wait before finding out. That's sure. September, beginning of September here, but we can't wait. So what do you think? What do you think Lenny James meant, and being on the same side on there too? What do you think? So I think they'll be on the same side. I think initially Ezekiel and Rick might have a little problem with each other, but then we'll get over that too. But like I said, Rick versus Morgan in a fight, who do you got? Who's going to take each other out? I think Morgan wins. My money's on Morgan because of his training. But thanks for watching, guys. You were awesome. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Subscribe for more videos. Let's keep this channel growing. And really, what do you think about Lenny James in Season 7? Let us know, guys.